Jafric Radio. Jafric Radio.
You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jafric Radio.
Your online radio. The new online radio that makes you happy.
You've been kept down for much too long. Stand up, please, and say I am free. Don't forget you are welcome home, welcome home.
Jafric Radio.
Come with me on this happy trip back to the promised land. All will be happy and gay. Come with me on this happy trip back to the promised land.
You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jafric Radio. You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jafric Radio.
Jafric Radio.
You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jafric Radio.
You are always welcome home, welcome home.
Your online radio. The new online radio that makes you happy.
You've been kept down for much too long. Stand up, please, and say I am free. Don't forget you
This is Jafric Radio.
are home, welcome home.
Jafric Radio.
Come with me on this happy trip back to the promised land. All will be happy and gay. Come with me on this happy trip back to the promised land.
You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jafric Radio. You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jafric Radio.
Hello, viewers and our honorable listeners. We thank you for tuning into Jafric Radio Home Sweet Home program. Today we have a very important topic to discuss here, and I think after all,
This is Jafric Radio.
you will know that it is good that you join. Okay, so what we want you to do is first just share with your friends, and then call a friend to also listen to Jafric Radio, because we have a lot for you. I know you know our motive and our goal. We want every home, every marriage couple enjoyed their second heaven on earth. So, your favorite program, Home Sweet Home, is there for you to help you. Okay, let me acknowledge my sponsors first, and then we continue. This program is sponsored by Bayside Modeling Agency and Turmeric Hotel. Turmeric Hotel is at East Legon in Accra, Ghana. So if you want to spend home away from home, just visit Turmeric Hotel at East Legon in Accra. And I want to take this opportunity to wish everyone a happy Easter. Happy Easter. Whether you are a Christian, you are a Muslim, or you are Buddhist, I wish you a happy Easter. Before we go, today we have big marriage counselors in our midst. I said big marriage counselors in our midst. And I would like to introduce them to you. First, on my right is Pastor Emmanuel Edujemfi. Pastor Emmanuel Edujemfi. Pastor, you're welcome.
A happy Easter.
Thank you. Thank you, Pastor. And I have Mama Naomi Asare Zotto. She is the National Women's Ministry Leader, Japan. Mama, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Miss Moderator.
Thank you. And we have, this is his first time on our show. And after everything, you will never regret that today you joined.
Yeah.
He is a marriage counselor. Hey. An elder of the big church, the Church of Pentecost, Japan.
Yeah.
He is in a person. Oh, I forgot one. A teacher. He is a teacher. Yes. He's the person of Elder Kwesi Ajimai. Elder, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, so my name is Habina Pomapoku. I am your host for this program. And we have our DJ, Mr. DJ Clemsy, our producer, Mr. Kobe, and the executive producer, Nana Yao Enin. You can call him Pop. P-O-P. Don't forget that the topic for discussion today is anger in marriage. How to deal with anger. Anger. Ebufuo no. Hajin. Eti kwanya yebe faswa. Yebe to me. I buwane ye se ebufuo yi. Efri awari. Na awari na ayi suko. We want everyone to enjoy their marriage. Okay. So, my able panelists, today's topic is anger in marriage. So, we said ladies first. So I am going straight to the lady, and then after that we decide.
Really?
Okay, Mama Naomi. I mean, when someone says anger, what is your understanding of anger?
Okay. My understanding of anger simply is misunderstanding of each other's personalities.
Okay.
So when we understand our differences, the differences of our personality,
Okay.
it generates into conflict and get to anger. So misunderstanding of each other's differences causes what we call anger. In my definition, according to my definition.
According to Mama Naomi's
yes,
definition.
my definition.
Yes. She mentioned misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Okay, we will come straight to Pastor Dijemfi. Pastor, your understanding of anger.
Anger. The white man described it as a short madness.
Wow.
Wow! A short madness.
Wow.
If it's not well handled,
Okay.
it can even cause mental health. It can cause divorce. You see, it doesn't bring peace in the marriage. So, in short, anger means short madness, misunderstanding between the two couples. That's what I will define anger.
Misunderstanding between
Short
two
madness.
couples. Said a short madness. So hey, and I cannot tell how much I go mad.
Yeah, it's a short madness.
Oh my God, a short madness.
Yeah.
Elder Ajimai, your understanding of anger.
Okay, I would say maybe it's like an emotional disturbances that
Okay.
people go through as a result of maybe pain that is inflicted on them. So somebody does something wrong to somebody, and they go through that kind of emotional disturbances. And I think that is how I feel I would explain it. Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
my
I told you, a teacher and also a marriage counselor. Okay, so you just feel free. You can
okay.
speak
Relax.
Chi, Japanese.
Yeah. International.
Yes, international. So don't worry about the language. You can speak any language here. And we have faithful interpreters around that they will help. Okay, so now we have got a little understanding, or let's say a brief understanding of anger. Anger. We are talking of anger in marriage. I got a call from a friend, and he said her husband does everything for her, but at any little provocation he got angry. And when he got angry, it takes time before he he settled. So she want to ask, what would she do? Any little provocation, the husband got angry.
Well,
So please help the woman for me.
okay. So, anger,
Yes.
it entails two things.
Okay.
Okay. We have positive aspect of anger,
Okay.
and we have the negative aspect of anger.
Mm.
So the positive aspect is that it helps us to know each other and how to handle each other.
Okay.
Anger. And as married couples, so for example, we know that marriage, it is two people from different background,
Okay.
different personality, different interests, different desires that have been brought together to live the rest of their life. And you know that these two people coming together, there is another thing, another characteristic that is inherent in it. We have human selfishness.
Okay.
All of us have that tendency. We want things to be done our way. We want to endorse our opinion. We want our interest to happen. It is a natural inherent in us. And when those things are not handled well, it generates into conflict. The anger starts coming in. When we get married, yes, we have phases of the marriage. We have the honeymoon aspect.
Okay.
Those time we try to adapt each other no matter what. Okay,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah.
No problem. But after that one phases away, then now our eyes have opened. Then instead of adapting to each other, we attempt to correct.
Okay.
We don't accept each other's difference. We try to eliminate each other's difference. There was one person who said that in life or in relationship, there are two things.
Okay.
There are certain things you can change, and those that you can change, you need courage to change them.
Okay.
And there is another one, you cannot change it. No matter what you do, you cannot change it. And that's why you need the patience to be able to accept it. And there is another aspect, you need to see the difference between the things you can change and the things you cannot change.
That's right.
You have to give a difference between those things. So in her case, what is the cause of the husband's anger? He said the little things.
Yes.
Something little, it's burned up into something else. So the first thing that she could do is, what is the root cause of this anger? And as husband and wife, we all have needs according to priority. And some of the things that generate into anger is when our needs are not met. Maybe my need is, I need love and compassion. My husband doesn't know that. he only knows that I like beautiful things, so he'll just take me shopping and do all those, doing all the things. As she said, she does everything.
Yes.
But the love and compassion that I need, he's not doing that. So it means that the little things you do, I'll get angry. Yes, you are doing everything, but my need, my needs according has not been met. So when our needs are not met according to our desires, it's also, so maybe in his case, maybe there is something, there is a need that the husband wants her to meet that she's not doing. That maybe might cause his anger, every little thing. You know, some people, when they are hungry, they get angry easily.
He said the angry man is the hungry man is an angry man.
Yes, so he can be stomach hungry, he can be emotional hungry. So like so many things. So what is the root cause of the anger? That is one thing that she should delve into. I will leave it to my panel so that as time we continue to delve into it.
Elder Jemai, can we help the woman? Any little provocation. The husband.
Like Dickness Naomi just said, I think knowing the root cause is very crucial, very important. Because without that, it's going to be very hard coming out without submissions. But I believe that even God, the God we worship, he sometimes get angry. If you read the scriptures, you will find many of these instances where God became angry at man and at a nation, for example. When he was bringing the Israelites, for example, to the promised land, it came to a point where he was very indignant, very angry at the people, and so he decided to just wipe them away. But he took the intervention of Moses to say, God, don't destroy them. Because if you do so, they will say that because you are unable to bring them to the promised land. The God listened to Moses, and he just left them alone. And so God, even is a God that gets angry. So how much more we human beings? So getting angry itself is not a sin. The Bible says we can get angry, but we should not sin.
Okay.
And so I don't know about the situation of that husband, of that the way he gets angry. Like Madam Naomi said, there should be a cause of that. People don't just get angry, they get angry because they have a cause. And until that woman perhaps stop the little mistakes she's making, the husband may keep getting angry at her. And so my advice is, if she is very much aware, I love the husband, because he always forgives. That's why they are still together.
Yes.
So once he forgives, that's okay. But that does not mean that he should continue to be angry. But then I would also advise that woman that maybe anything she does which is causing the husband to be angry at her, I think she has to find a way of doing away with that, and that would be helpful.
Okay, thank you so much, Elder. Pastor Ejijefi.
Yeah, there is a saying in our language that there is no smoke without fire. So there might be a cause which the lady should find out from her own self. You see, sometimes being angry means you love something. Really. If you don't care about anything, you don't talk about it. You have to put that one inside our head. If I love you, I want you to, be okay, all right, beautiful, put you on the right place. And that. So therefore, I will try to control you so that you become perfect, like as I want, as my wife. So not all angry is negative. Angry sometimes is also a sign of love.
My oh my. Then I'll continue to. It's a sign of love.
Yeah, really.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's true. You cannot get angry unless you care about something. If you don't care, okay, mean found. call baby. You obey be a home from my
When you don't
but
care.
if I love you and I
Whenever
care
the
about
person
you, I
says,
will make sure that I put you on the right path.
Yes.
So that people will know that you are Pastor Adijemfi's wife.
Correct.
Sometimes, some people misunderstand you and then take it as every day. But because I love you, I want you to put it in a certain place that Pastor Ajimai will know. This is Pastor Adijemfi's wife. This is Elder Foku's wife. This is Mr. wife. So not all angry is a sign of hate or something of that sort. So we have to understand. For the woman's case, communication is lacking. She has to sit down. First, find out why my husband gets too much angry. And after that, sit down with her and talk.
Okay. But we have some people who are very quick-tempered.
Yeah.
Yes. Very true.
Yes. Some are very, very quick-tempered. So anything, they just got angry.
Yes.
And if you happen to have a wife or a husband
Who is quick-tempered?
what would you do?
Yeah, this situation of maybe somebody being quick-tempered, it is a weakness that we need to handle.
Okay.
Yes. So if you are somebody who is quick-tempered, you need to overcome that by praying to God to take that away from you. Because being quick-tempered doesn't help in any relationship. Yes, as Pastor said, it is good to get angry. We have good parts of anger and bad parts of anger. So in my case, I have many this testimony about my husband getting angry with me that has brought the best out of me. So
great.
yeah, so sometimes anger could bring the best out of somebody.
That's very true.
Yes, maybe you are supposed to do something, you are not doing it. So maybe the person getting angry would ginger you to do something to prove that, yes, what the person is saying or getting angry, I could live above that. So it is good, yes, sometimes you get angry. And as he rightly said, anger means you love the person. If you don't love, you don't care about. You don't care at all. You don't care about all. But for you to be able to measure how mature you are getting in marriage is when conflict arise, or when there is something like misunderstanding that generates into anger. Okay, so when we go back to the Bible, Paul, at a time, he was held as a prisoner and was being carried to another place to be judged. And after so many challenges that they went through on the sea, they got to an island that they were very cold. They needed to warm up their body. And you see that he gathered
This is Jafric Radio.
to make fire so that they could get some warmth. But it is when the stick entered the fire that something like snake came out. So it is when something like misunderstanding or anger crops in the marriage, then you know the aspect of your life you need to work at. When there is fire, then you see the snakes in the marriage. It will come up. So the maturity comes in on how you are able to solve that situation, to curtail your anger. When the snake came, the snake beat Paul. Did Paul work on the snake? No, he worked on himself. He knows something that is in him, that this poison in his body cannot have effects. So instead of maybe in times like this, how we are able to manage such anger, most of the time we have to start from ourselves. How we handle it. Do you allow the poison to kill you, or you let that thing which is inside you to kill that poison? So sometimes when we are angry, we say so many things. But we need to exercise control. How do we do that?
That's right.
By going into ourselves and knowing who we are. Yeah. The maturity of the marriage is when there are conflicts, when there is anger, and how we are able to curtail such things when they arise.
Intimate mama see you pa from baby no. Eya na bufuo na ye kakra e wo aware no.
Eya pa.
Se me kun ye bibi, me yere ye bibi. Na meni anje ho a o se me manu
Yeah. You need the courage to correct that because you have the chance to correct that mistake. So you need the courage. So in that case, that anger is very good.
oh wow
And the bad one is that you are angry about something that you cannot change.
okay
No matter what, you know
So
that this thing you
it's-
cannot
at
change.
this point we have to specify the things that we can change
Yeah,
and the things that we cannot change.
exactly.
Oh, okay.
So if you get angry at the things you can change by getting angry, like me, some of the things that I needed to change, it was anger that helped me to change it.
Yeah.
So if it
For
were-
example, if your wife is very short like me, and you want me to get taller, you regret marrying a short woman.
Exactly.
I mean, there is nothing you can do about it. Yeah. So you have to cope with that. But I am not too short, okay? It's just a great example. Yeah. There are certain things you cannot change. It's natural. It's normal. Yeah. But those that you think you can change, it is better to change them.
Yeah, you need the
And
courage.
You need the courage also to change. That is it important from what we are saying? So much important to get angry.
Yes, sometimes it is a very, very important. There are so many people whom you cannot change by sitting down with them and talking smoothly with them. Sometimes you need that force, which is called anger, to change a lot of things. It will help the other partner to know your point or your inner feeling.
But let's look at this. Can't at some point discourage the person also not to do what the person wanted to do? For example, maybe let's take it as this. I am the person that love cooking. But anytime I cook, my husband gets angry because he doesn't like the way I did it. So, can't that one discourage me from cooking? Maybe, okay, I have to just let go. I will not cook again, for example. So there are certain things, if I got too much angry, do you think that one could also discourage me? It will help me to draw back, not to ginger me to do more, but
Well, so as we said from the beginning, this marriage thing that we are talking about, we should understand it that we are not perfect people.
okay.
It is two imperfect people that have come together from different backgrounds. We have different interests. We have different opinions.
Okay.
So if this basics is understood by both parties, so it will also curtail this kind of getting angry easily about little things. Yes, maybe I can't cook the way you like it. Why? You should understand the background I came from. In my where I come from, maybe when we prepare soup, we don't mix meat
Yeah.
with fresh fish.
Okay.
Okay, and maybe my husband is coming from a background that when they cook the meat, the fresh fish, the kobe, everything in one pot.
One pot.
That is
Okay.
how he likes it. Me, I don't like it that way. So if I should cook and you should get angry at me, you have not been fair to me. Because looking at the background I'm coming from and the background you are coming from is different. So in this case, we need to understand each other's background. And we have to take selfishness out of the equation.
Selfishness.
Because this marriage that we are talking about, it is instituted by God himself. And God himself is a God that is not selfish. And before you can be able to enjoy a wonderful marriage, selfishness have to be taken out of the equation. Because we are working as a team. Together, one. So if I'm not doing it well, why can't you tell me? This is how I want it. Or if the understanding is not coming, okay, we can come into a compromise. I like hard fufu. My husband
is
doesn't
Jafric
like
Radio.
hard fufu. So in that case, if soft, I can't eat soft. Hard, he can't eat it. Then let's come into a compromise. Not too soft, not too hard. That we go. But if you want my desires to stand, it doesn't work. We don't have my in marriage. I. It's together. We are one. So if that basic is understood, we are from different backgrounds trying to fit into each other to become one, then certain things like cooking shouldn't be bring misunderstanding between us.
Okay, let me just.
Okay, Elder, if you have anything
I
to
think
say about it.
if you read the scriptures, I think there's a scripture. I think I put it down somewhere. I think there's a scripture that talks about being slow to anger,
Okay.
and it also talks about. It says, a man who easily gets angry is like a man that exalts foolishness, exalts folly. That's the English word folly. That's foolishness. And if you're somebody that quickly gets angry, you are somebody that is promoting foolishness.
Wow.
Yes, but a man who's slow.
The short madness.
Yes.
Yeah, that is short man.
I see.
But the one that is slow to anger, the Bible says, has great understanding. That's how the Bible puts it. So the person has great understanding, like our sister was just saying.
Okay.
And sometimes if you have great understanding, you'll be able to like scrutinize, examine, think of it, why your wife or your husband, did it this way. And so you're not going to just get angry at her, because you will sit down and just consider her situation and just think of why she engaged in that kind of behavior, for example. And you will simply forgive because you understand her background or his background. But if you're not a man of understanding, you will easily get angry, and then the end result will be disastrous. So that's how the Bible is trying to say that if you are somebody that gets quick, you easily get angry. You're quick-tempered. It's not of God. Anger is okay. You can get angry, but if you're quick-tempered, the Bible says that you are exalting foolishness, and that it means it's not a good thing. Yeah. So I would advise, if you're out there and maybe you easily get angry at your wife or at your husband, at your spouse, it's important to consider this statement from the scriptures that in a man of understanding, if you have understanding, you will certainly forget about so many things. But if you are quick-tempered, at the end of the day, you see that you destroy the marriage, and God doesn't really want that.
Wow.
So that's my submission here. Yeah.
Thank you so much. When Pastor was talking, he said, anger means you love the person.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
So sometimes you love the person and you want to correct the person. But there was one typical case. A lady said he had a relationship that he loved that person so much, and the parents were not in agreement with her. So they choose a different person for her to get married. And because she doesn't want to disrespect the parents, he went ahead and got married to the man. Then after that, the man is a very good man. But whatever the man does, she got angry inside her. She's so much angry with the guy that she doesn't know what to do. So in this case, the woman doesn't love the man. That's the reason why he easily got angered with the man. Yeah. So what I want to say is that it's not all the time that
anger is love.
Yes, it's show of love. Sometimes it can be something else.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So if you find yourself in this lady's situation, because especially in Africa, it happens. menene ya damfo mfiri nkwalabre mu pa nti me pese wo ware no ne ba no ma me na damfo ne tena ho we if these things happens, I mean, what advice are we giving to the parents who force their children to go into marriages that they don't like?
Okay.
Papa.
Okay. Yeah. The Bible says, the truth shall set you free.
Okay.
But especially we in Africa, your culture do say, uka no kurechere penny be a yes umwadi. So sadly, no, I will say you dealing with that, you know. You do ma awali, unimse ni pano, ompeno. So what I say. Now we see because of my father to be a routine be a teen be bold and tell the parents and that's all papa say me do ini sa ini palimu it mean to me and wareno something happened to me time I do say me be wareno my mother introduced me a certain woman say me wareno because that woman of free wealthy family and we come from the same town and you see. But I was bold enough to tell my mama that Obano me do ini mo eti munchai me na miano me nware die me pe no ti asema me mama kan I will never forget was kosi baby a wakoma won me jawo kose ko ware you see a woman say those people no but communication is also very important. I sat down with my mom and said, okay, why do I have to marry somebody from my own town
or village?
Village? No, it's okay. According to your culture, no, say me babrewa. You see, any panel between me, a bear me, or beboa me, any name. And I'm catching okay. Me to asipa. But the point is, let's say, Sisi meti kumasi, me certain crime, also so tear crassy. Did you think say maybe warren my jai or bana man nam susmeti kumasi namin kwame te wa na say it is not possible. Indeed the be say usu babru wa one best wasabi where we have to build your toilet, we need a pipe for you and this the who was animal
this is Jafric Radio.
Was kwesi matuasi itino ya na mostly no minhu said yes can be kase me yakura but no person who pretend say we akwala papa ntino you don't talk your feeling and then no and na kwakoto to be my mama it my advice am the be my other couples no say young girls na say young men are more warning say be bold and forget about the fact say the people will tell you say umwa de we akwala boni ntino you have to okay I will say the umpeno what they say ufanisa I don't agree with that. And number two, now can be okay. Ukunu ebia wonu aduane na nibu ofuno wompe. Eno no the mente ase kakra ne se bebia emra enie no bonini ho. One thing you have to understand. Okay, aduane wo no a men kan chiro se aduane no kan wo no so no mempe. Na mibufu a eye short madness. Eni pan na dwusa. Yes, I have to tell you.
Yes, sir.
Na dwusa. No say no credit e ba kope. Na dwusa. Oh, Madam Naomi. In fact, we aduane a wo no eye fine pa. Pa se mi dia e bia na me rane. It me sro sisa onsa kakra. It will be o had the answer or the saying ebufu no beba no. Me ka kire ono na wasamba. Oh, no ade the communication. So mira, we dey sorry for me refi. With this at some nebe free one free me so ada we ni akọ then na didn't talk already bano enti o ba no tem dia try to say kasa papa e be free one numu aba.
Okay.
So nipa no first one why there is nobody say was me me from so ni me ho e bi kra na dia wo dwene no na eni dia wo no hunu no no oh and no say mama me catch you say he na wo say ye obi o ye fa me say na wo say na say wo fu a you excuse you to say without saying you are mad no kra na me catch because emre ni ho abere na boni it was emre na wie no now try so control because for your kani I would train no to say wo di ni ofri baby na so ofri baby it ansana mo be wobuma wo be perfect ma wali e be ya kono te se mi die ni bi no hallelujah
Thank you, viewers. Please, just share this program with all your friends. Share. Because I mean, it's very interesting. You have to
that is the answer. What's in one or lack communication. To be frank,
it's lack of communication.
So be shiny mu year, and you may be coswa. Why you not going to own sister? It is a one sister cosusa dia. Anger is necessary to change the situation. That is my point of view.
Yeah, once a son, because some will say, that is how our family, that is who we are, that is who I am, I cannot change. So if you can't just forget those kind of words.
This kind of words, I think we should avoid saying it in this thing. And about the question you asked, he's in a marriage that she's not interested.
Yes.
Maybe let's come from the beginning. My parents want me to marry a man that I don't love. First, we need to communicate.
Okay.
It happened to me some time ago when I was growing up. Okay. Yes, that one is not my parent per se, but one uncle of mine, he really wanted me to marry the son. Yes, so all along he has been saying it. And one time I visited, so he also arranged the son to also come home from school. So he came and, okay, this is what the father is saying. He wants us to get married. So we talk. I don't know you. You don't know me. How can we be compatible to each other? So I think you yourself see this situation. Can we match? Can we make up a wonderful marriage? So we talk among ourselves. I've grown up. I'm now a graduate. You are also about to graduate. You have come into contact with so many ladies that you have even developed relationship with. So is also me too. I've also done the same thing. And this time that they are saying this, how do you agree with such a situation? So the two of us, we talked and he understood and everything ended up there. And I was so surprised. Could you believe that this was the same uncle that gave me out to my husband?
Wow.
Yes, the whole thing, sometimes I think about it and I don't understand, because at the time of my marriage, my husband, my father was so much engaged. So somebody have to stand in for him. And it was this same man that stood in for him. So I'm so
lucky.
Yes. And in a situation that you have already entered,
yes,
love is cultivated. You have to plant it, nurture it,
yes,
work around it, and it will grow, it will bear fruit. So if you already find yourself in this situation, forget about the past. It has already happened. Now you are a new relationship. How do I make this relationship to work? In her case, the man is love her. So it is now on her part to also reciprocate that love for the husband. So he should work on her mindset. How do I make it to work? In marriage, your partner first. What am I bringing into this marriage? Love is cultivated. So she can make it to work. If she's able to work on her mind and try to be positive, what she can do to make it work, she will find love.
Wow.
Yeah.
Find love.
She will.
Edda, do you have anything to say about this?
I think like both of them just said, they've all had some kind of experience in relation to maybe somebody introducing them to somebody for marriage or something like that. In my case, mine is not as theirs. But when I grew up and I came to a point, I had one best friend, and she was a lady, but just a mere friend. We were members of a church. And then this lady, by that time, I was having like a courtship with my wife. And then maybe my friend, maybe she didn't know of it, I don't know, because this one was secret.
Yeah, maybe and she had in mind that because you are friends, you get married.
So she was far older, like maybe in Japan, maybe we don't care about that, but she was like, in Ghana here we care. She was about 5 years older than me. And so she told me, I have found a lady in the church, and this lady, she does all the work in the church. You will see her doing this, and I think she's the right person for you.
Okay.
And I say, I'm sorry, I'm already engaged. You know,
Hey.
it's somebody that I love. So, and then the conversation actually ended there. Yeah, and so I think like we all have that kind of similar experiences. So when, like Pastor said, I think like Mama also said it. I mean, you don't let somebody force you into marriage.
To marry, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing because you have to make your own decision as to whom you want to get married
because
to.
you are going to manage the home.
Yes. And if you go and it goes well for you,
That's right.
that's good. If it doesn't go well, you come back.
Yeah.
But you don't let you don't let somebody let you in, and then later you be blaming the person. Hey, you let me, you just let me in and all that.
And this marriage, I mean, it's no going back first.
Yeah. I mean, let me just when I finish, I'll come back. I mean, like, but it's normal. You know, if you go yourself, and maybe your parents were right. You understand? Maybe they knew why they were saying maybe don't go there, maybe go this side. And sometimes it happens. So maybe you go there, and then later on, maybe it doesn't. Yeah.
This is Jeffrey
But once
Radio.
you make your own decision, I think you may not regret it, but you wouldn't like it, that your parents has introduced you to somebody and later maybe you come home divorced or something like that. I mean, what I want to say in short is, like you have to have a dialogue, but the dialogue, like Pastor and Mama just said, the dialogue should be in such a way that it's going to help you. I mean, like the way you put it, some people they are not able to have a healthy dialogue. They just talk anyhow, loose talks. I don't like him. I don't like her. You can't insist on my rights and that and that and that. But if you just exercise patience, I think there's a Bible verse in Ephesians that says, I think there's a verse that says, it says, I think that like the words that we speak, when we, I think maybe I have a point. Let me just see if I can just figure it out. Did I write it here? Do I have it here? Maybe I may have it. Yes. But do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up.
Okay.
And so this is the problem that we are talking about. Conversation, having a dialogue, effective dialogue, a meaningful one. That would help. So if your parents are insisting that you get married to somebody, you take that, Dad, you say, this lady, this man, my love is not there. So depending on how you would say it or you express yourself, that is how the problem sometimes comes out. So it's important that you just relax, you take your time in a more polite, more respectful way, and then you say to your parents, I'm already in love with this man, and that and that and that. And if you do that, maybe that would help. And some parents too, they know what they are doing. Most people, they've gotten married to some ladies and men, and are doing well. I had my own. He's my brother. I'll put it that way. Yeah, my brother. Actually, my cousin. And this guy was. He had a lot of money, and because of the money he had, he wanted to get married to a lady whose dad was also very rich. Very, very rich. Yeah. And that time, what happened was the man didn't like to see her daughter actually befriending my cousin. Because the man was rich, he had everything, fabulously rich. And then eventually, my cousin went to their house, and the man told him, if you come here, this is what I'm going to do to you. And he threatened to destroy his life. And then this man gave the lady to a doctor, because my brother wasn't all that schooled, my cousin. And eventually, my cousin now, though he was rich at the time, within few years, he's now at zero. There's nothing. And so the wife, then that lady is still married to the doctor now, and perhaps she feels better. So some parents, they know why they say certain things. So if you're a Christian, you could pray over it also, and then see how God is going to direct you. But my advice is, first of all, if you think you don't like where your parents are taking you to, it's better you talk it over with them in a very polite, full way. I think that will help. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Elder. Okay, let me ask this. Can unforgiveness also brings anger? Unforgiveness. My husband, my wife has done this to me. And it's so painful that I cannot forgive. Can that one cause anger?
Of course. Why unforgiveness? Why should we entertain unforgiveness? Then, if you still harbor that spirit of unforgiveness, you've not yet understood the institution of marriage. Because unforgiveness is one poison that kills marriage. So if you are really into the marriage and you still harbor that one, I think you need to go back to school and really understand what marriage is about.
Yeah, the reason why I'm asking this, a lady, there was one of the Opening Kwedutre program, and he said that lady said he had a misunderstanding with her husband, and the word, the insult that she received from her husband, it has just caused so much pain in her that anytime she remembers what the husband said, whatever is in her hand just fell down. And this thing is eating her up. So anytime he sees the man, she sees herself as not relevant to the man, because that thing is paying her. She is trying to forget, but she couldn't.
Maybe for all you know, even maybe the husband doesn't even know that what he said has angered her so much. So she's now harboring bitterness,
That's
and
right.
it is killing her.
Yeah.
So I think this word bitterness is really a very big problem if we don't handle it. It is not the person that you are bitter against that is suffering.
Okay.
It is you yourself. So if really you should be sincere with, for all you know, maybe she's even a Christian. For all you know, this lady might be a Christian.
That's true.
If really you are a Christian, why should you harbor bitterness? Maybe the person you are harboring that bitterness doesn't even know. It's like you are using a sharp instrument to cut yourself, to kill yourself. You are drinking poison. So I think as for unforgiveness, it is something that we have to try as much as possible to do away with. And how do we do that? Pray over it. Just lay yourself on the altar of God. Let God work on you to take that spirit, because it is a very dangerous thing, and the devil also bases on that.
Yes.
Sometimes maybe I say something, it is not anything, but because you are harboring something, you are adding up, and it is very, very
We
dangerous.
call it time bomb.
So, Mom, for example, maybe if you are advising somebody who doesn't know Christ, the person is not a Christian. Yes. And she has this bitterness in her heart or his heart against the spouse. What would that person do?
Take a paper, if a whole notebook, just take it. Start writing all that you feel within your heart. Okay? Start writing it. You said this, like as if you are. What is going on? You just write it. If the whole notebook, write it. After you finish writing it, take time and read it. Read all your thing, your problem, your bitterness, your unforgiveness, everything. Just read what you have written. After you finish reading it, just burn it. So as if you have, it means whatever it is in you, you have brought it out.
Okay.
You've taken it out of yourself. Maybe you don't have that courage to confront your husband or the person who has done such a thing against you. So to be sincere, just just write it. And this thing, sometimes it goes a long way to work. Well, sometimes maybe certain things that we say, you may think is foolishness or something.
Okay.
But just try it and see. In my case, during my very class 1 stage of the marriage, usually if I have problem, my husband is the type, he's very calm. How he is, it is difficult for people to confront him.
That's right.
So because when I entered into the marriage, my father told me, you have to behave yourself. Because if you have a problem, this your husband, he has that kind of, I don't know how to put it.
Yeah.
So like it is very
honorable
difficult
face.
to my brothers,
Yeah.
they told me the same thing. And the worst part of it all, that I came back to my senses, like my pastor, the first time when we visited, when we got married, the next station that I went to, he also said the same thing. Then I know that as for my problem is a big one. So the only person who can help me is God, you see. So from the class 1 stage of my marriage, anytime there is a misunderstanding, I don't communicate with anybody. I behave as if there is somebody in front of me who is my creator, who brought the man to me. And I talk. If it is crying, I cry. I say everything. Immediately I finish saying it, I'm okay. So in a person who doesn't know God, just take a book. If it is a whole big notebook and you see your problem is as big as that, you just write it. Take your time. You are working on yourself. Write all those things. After you finish writing it, take another time and read what you have written. Just imagine all those you have written. If somebody poured that on you, how will you feel? So if you finish, you just bend those things as if it's a medicine. You are working on yourself. So in my advice to such a person, just try this thing and see if it will work or not. Yeah.
Pastor, your pastor, your member come to you.
Yeah, I think
My husband has done something so painful, I cannot forgive. So I always easily got angered when I even hear him talking.
Forgiveness is healthy. It's very healthy. Even though he's not a Christian, but I want to answer your particular question with what Paul said in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. I'm reading from it. You see, we marry because we love each other. No matter how the marriage has deteriorated, you love her before you get together. And something has happened. So you have to find out what God is saying about this particular thing you are talking about. And the answer is from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses number 4 to 7. It says, love is number 1, patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It does not insist on its own that I will never forgive you, I will never forget what. It doesn't insist on its own. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing. So you can't tell me you can't forgive your husband. It does not rejoice. Does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. So if something is working within you which you are not happy about it, communicate with the husband. Let's continue. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endure all things. That is love. The reason why you are married is the answer I'm giving you now. So don't sit down and say, me find Chaneta. Now, when you point your finger to somebody, all the rest are also pointing back to you.
Wow. Elder, being a marriage counselor, and someone walked to you.
Yeah.
My husband, my wife has done this.
Yes.
And I can't cope again. It's hurting me. What advice would you give?
Naturally, like you said, being an elder, so the answer should come from a Bible perspective. And so, first of all, God says that what God has put together, let no man put asunder. So, with the use of scriptures, you could advise the person that divorce is not a good thing, and that God hates divorce. The Bible talks about, at a point, Jesus Christ, I think in the book of Matthew, Jesus Christ was telling the people, the disciples and the rest of the people that were gathered, that you should not divorce your wives. And then they came to him and said, then why then did Moses said that if anybody, if you can divorce your wife by giving her a certificate of divorce?
Yeah.
And so Jesus' answer to that question was, it was because of the hardness of your heart. So when the heart is hardened, that is where unforgiveness sets in, because your heart is already hardened. You've hardened your heart. I'm not going to forgive. I'm going to hold on to that grudges with my husband, and that is not a good thing. So if somebody comes to me, maybe my simple advice would be that you have to be able to forgive, because we all sin. There is nobody on earth that does not sin. And one thing I understand perfectly is if you are actually in a marriage, I don't think that somebody would intentionally do something evil against you. It can come at a point, but it's not going to be repeatedly. Like every time I see my wife, I insult her. Every time I insult her. Every time I insult her. I'm not saying that could not happen. Sometimes people go to the extremes.
Yeah.
But in this particular case, like just one insult or a few insults, and she has kept within her, not forgive, something like that. That means that it's not actually a repeated thing. And if it's just a little thing, even if it's a repeated thing, you still have to forgive, because we all sin in different ways. And some people, like, they are tolerant, they just don't say your part. Like you be there with your wife or your husband, and sometimes if it's about, somebody may find cause to complain all the time. Like you're saying, the wife may be complaining. Meanwhile, the husband also has so many things against the wife.
Yes.
But he's just being tolerant to the wife. I don't want to, say so many things. They keep quiet. They don't want to say so many things to the wife, because they think if I say it, she's going to be disturbed, something like that. And so people, there's no need of you always trying to find fault or taking things at heart.
Yeah.
Because definitely, because we live together, we will definitely offend each other. And so from that perspective, I don't think, if it's just an insult is nothing.
Okay.
So many things beyond that goes beyond insult.
Okay.
So simply insult, just forgive. Yeah.
Just forgive. Okay. Yeah, we have some messages that are come in, and I want to read. Mr. Jackson Wayne said, "Wow, Elder Ajimai, praise the Lord! I'm watching
Hallelujah.
you from Yokohama."
Oh, good.
Mr. Jackson is watching Elder Ajimai from Yokohama, and Mr. Emmanuel Kusi said, "God bless you." And we have Mr. Acel. He said, when your partner expresses anger to you, is it natural to feel inclined to respond with anger or defensiveness? However, responding to anger with more anger can escalate the situation, especially if your husband is already struggling to control his anger. Do your best to remain calm, to respond with a natural statement, or, such as, "I can tell you are very upset. I don't think talking will help right now. So I am going to give you space to cool down." You may need to give him physical space, either by leaving the room or by getting yourself out of your home for a bit and an errand or walk. If your husband's anger is not directed to you, but happening in front of you, you might be able to direct the conversation by speaking slowly and calmly. You can also encourage him to try walking it off to see if he can cool down. before starting a conversation with him.
That's good.
This is the advice. Yes.
That's great.
That we are wonderful submission from
very
Mr.
good.
Acel.
Beautiful.
Mr. Acel.
It's very good because it has happened to me many times.
Okay.
During our courtship, I want to test the anger of my husband. So deliberately.
You did.
Deliberately, I do things that I know it should make me so mad, so that I see how he reacts.
Okay.
And mostly I do it. He doesn't talk. He just leave and go somewhere. Later, he come back. On several occasions, I've done that.
Okay.
Oh.
Just to test how we react. So as he said, sometimes you can do that. Just maybe giving the person space to cool down. Yes. Or maybe if you try to change something and it's not changeable, you just try to walk away for that thing to cool down. I think it's
and also it says something about replying with anger.
Yeah.
It's not helping.
Yes.
That one is not well.
Yeah, it's not helping at all.
I used to have a friend a long time ago during secondary school days.
Okay.
And this guy said anytime he would get angry, he just try to keep some water in his mouth, and then so that he will not be able to observe it.
but
I don't know how effective it was, because if maybe what you're hearing is too much for you,
so
you may just go and pour it out there. But that was his strategy.
But one thing is, too much of everything is bad. Yesterday or 3 days ago, I was listening to Adom FM, an interview with a woman whom her husband has burned the house and one of a child.
Because of anger.
Because of anger.
Definitely.
According to the news, it was yesterday interview from Facebook. According to the women, her mom warned her that man is not a good man, so you should divorce him. But she ignored the mommy's advice. And it happened about a week ago.
Wow.
So the man came in one night with petrol. Threw the petrol there, locked the door, and threw fire on it, and then he left the room. He was very lucky that the house owner was away when he was shouting, opened the door, but very unfortunately, one of her sons is dead. And the daughter is very burned in the sense that, in fact, So sometimes, if your husband or your wife is over angry and it is continuing. In fact, I will never advise you to stay. You better leave her and go your way. Yeah, that is my advice. The truth is only one. Sometimes you say, oh,
it's for better, for worse.
But sometimes you have to talk the truth. Say, kosu bebre ba jano na kopo baby tra. That is my advice. We all suffer, but I have to tell the truth.
Pastor,
the truth is only one.
Jano de it sounds yes, the Nyamia Kabum. There
are so many things. Say we miss and nobody and Yamina Kabum. So tiase do nyame akambo ya de abadondom obi susu tifie nyame na aka se nyame kambo mo wo abotre wo nyansa se ne ira ye no mfumso na wonko fa petro meche no. You can't tell me say this marriage no nyame ne kambo mu. God didn't do that. Imagine in 2 years I have to be fair. So sometimes the advices are no and kind of corona obi di hu sana kuma na ye kum krofo bebrebe. It is a koswa. Me yourself, I'm telling you, I'm a pastor.
But it's separation between me.
Separation. Separation between me. If the answer has said, we'll lose ni ba. We'll lose ni ba. Me no. Washino. Amanachi. Adom FM news yesterday. And our papa yes. Washia ma. Intimi who say will be to me a year and I say just plastic surgery. Was it the mother warned her? Se pebe jano na papa de bia ne bubefu bia no pese o say niema wo so to say nyame na kabo. Can you tell me say when nyame na kan bibi we say boom? Yeah, in fact the truth is only one. I have to tell into to wo hwe na say be man wo ne kan na nkoso amenia dwene hu ye Yes, I have to tell you the truth. I will never lie to you. I'm a pastor. The truth is only one. Come on, you come microphone.
Na onte yentimi mbua oberima na ne kokon so nye no mani ntimi mba fom kakra
so wona naka few refrain no wona ne ka was sometimes no o ko dware kra na he can see say papa ne di oil dia begunu nsum it according to Insura FM yesterday was he anadwo no ba dem ho no he saw say boni was no online who say boni abama ni trim okọ no apa it time work no yesterday only yesterday the man would throw in the go home and will local a pono. And I was also gas is so. Said the bayer because a gas now blasted. Now, unfortunately, we'll join and we'll copy us. And you didn't call hospital. The banner sheet, you will swan we were the corner and we'll cut to say Beman shed knock hospital and walk a report. Only yesterday. Now, then, can you tell me, sir, where you dear Yamia Kaboom? Never, you can't tell me this. When you are talking about this now, we have to say the truth.
And particularly when you sense that it's getting
when you sense that it's getting worse, you better advise yourself. Don't sit down and say, advise and say,
separation can come in.
Separation should come in.
Yeah, just give a space for the man to, sort the things out. But
I think there's another issue that happened in US.
Okay.
About a man that claimed to be a pastor.
Yeah. He shot.
He shot the wife 7 times
or so.
And
out of anger.
Yeah, and then I think the news, maybe FM, one of the FM stations in Ghana, recently a guy was sitting there and he was talking about his ordeal. According to him, somebody told him his wife was engaged with a man, and instead of using understanding,
this is Jafric Radio,
investigating the case, he just destroyed killed the wife. So he was in prison for like life imprisonment. And lucky for him, he came to know Christ. And through prayer, eventually they let him out.
Wow.
But the wife is
it's very
so you are in the situation, you have to wait.
If it's to the stream,
It's true that we ourselves we need to also deal with this thing before it deals with us. If you know that you have a very bad anger, you have to work it out, work things out for yourself. Because as for this man that has bent
only yesterday
there is no way he will go scot-free. So at the end of the day, your anger may put you in prison for maybe forever. You might not even come out. So there are certain things we need to deal with before it deals with us.
And this thing called marriage, I think we have to take time and know what it is. It is an institution, or it is a business, something that when you enter, you should be expectant of oppositions, because it is something that God has created. And you know that anything that is at the heart of God, Satan is also at it. Or see, be sober, be minded and alert that the Satan, your adversary, the devil,
Peter 5:8, right?
is rolling like a lion. It's rolling like a lion, looking for whom
to devour.
It's not anything, whom, looking for somebody. So when you allow yourself, he will come in and devour you. And these days, my heart is so saddened because all over the news is about this thing. Wickedness at the highest level on marriages. So this should remind us that something is going on. And those of us, people who are yet to enter, please know that this is like a warfare. You need some grace. Please take your time. Some people, a lot of people are desperate to get married. So they do anything, and you send it, and you say God has joined together. Then we say that what God has joined together. Pastor is saying that is it God? Are you sure that God has joined them?
Exactly, that is what I mean.
When I was growing up, I happened to read a book, and it says You see that at the wedding ceremony, before you are finally joined together, the pastor asks you, do you know something that will prevent the two of you from being joined together? Yeah. It is trying to ask you, how well do you know each other? How well do you know each other? So that this thing that you are coming, are you convinced within yourself that this person is the bone of your bone and the flesh of your flesh? All these things, most of the time, because we are so desperate, we go in for anything. And at the long run, yes, we are joined together, and we say, what God has joined. Ask yourself, really, is it God who has joined this marriage together? This, before you came into this thing, did you ask God his mind? One thing that I was told is, when this marriage that we are talking about, if you have that peace within you, everything that you want to do, and within you, you have the peace, go ahead. No matter any kind of...
we call it the inner peace.
Inner peace.
Inner peace.
I quite remember when we went on counseling, the counselor gave us 1 month to go and think about it if we really want to get married.
Because marriage...
She never cancelled. I said, go back. I give you 1 month to go and ponder over it. If the two of you can get married. And after 1 month, we went and said, yes, we are ready.
Marriage is so important.
The inner peace, the inner peace.
Marriage is important. Marriage is sweet, it's wonderful. But if you don't enter it well and maturely, you are in for doom.
In for doom. Okay. I think there is a call coming. So let's pick the caller and then read one more message. And hello.
Hello, Jafric Radio.
Hello. Yes, you are on Jafric Radio. May I know your name and where you're calling from?
Okay. Mepacho metimi akatwi.
I quite that form can't you know.
Mepacho kwabene ni mi frefi Saitama.
Oh, Mr. Kwabena, I will Home Sweet Home program so.
Madam Sepa, I mean Shramone Ajuma Pam we no apam for na couple in Shramo. Na me say, Asemi amoken, Asemo Esipa. Me see me mranti bremu, me kofa abayewebia, me no ewo. Na ye hwese ye behwe na ya ware. Na asemusi na obano menene kasa oni obi kodi nkomo se said me handle asem me nkyere me mem asem kura bibi ni no ye bone o se mitime bono ana me kyere ne se me dono ana se kyere se me ye bema ono so said osifa ete ase se obi edono no
okay.
Eto de bi kura bibi ni na me bu enfo se wo de onya be ma kra se we se utimi fodo na si form ana me hu se our day we embo ame entino enkrofu bi ho minim se omo abringing no ana se on se ye won krofu bi ho brofu me from sadis omo no asa yakayaka de ne sa enioma no na omo so omo ni je wom entino de mo kan de esi pa esi na yesua de meji aware enye ade a edafom entino mamuwa no ne mabawa no mo ba no o se omo ede omo ni to form ansa na omo de omuti akorem madam wase oni adwuma pa mo ye
yeni Kwabena from Saitama nyame onhyira wo pa yada wasese wa Fred Jafric Radio Home Sweet Home program yeso.
Amen.
This issue, it is like lack of knowledge. My people perish.
But she said that is what the lady wants.
No, that
she wants to be beaten before she knows that you are a man.
Understanding of love. That is her understanding of love. So if in this case the man's understanding of love is different, maybe try talk her into understanding what real love is, or your position about
this is
love.
Jafric Radio.
That I cannot inflict pain on myself. So if I cannot do that, I don't have to do it to you, because if we are married, the two of us have become one flesh. If I can't inflict pain on myself, I cannot do that. Maybe that is your understanding, but maybe this is when the man have to come in and try to talk her out of that kind of mediocrity mindset.
That's right.
You see, so I think maybe the man, I have heard a lot of things like this.
Yeah, most of the women said even if they want to have sex with their husband, they want their husbands to beat them.
Yeah.
And after beating them, begin to speak, love words to them, then they just...
And this thing has gotten into a lot of men to their head. So they turn out to bully, or how do I put it? So it's lack of knowledge, lack of knowledge, my people perish.
Wow.
Marriage is not such a thing.
No.
Wow.
I think what the man was saying doesn't mean beating the woman only. There are some men who has left their wife, found the baby. Maybe that is the point which Wajana and then your friends Wajana mana say. Sometimes the woman wants you to be like a man. Sometimes there are a lot of things you can tell her, no, you are not doing it. No, you are not buying this cloth. Whatever comes out of it, you are a man. You put your finger on the
But women, as fragile as
they will be offended, but sometimes when you are putting the woman into the right, not all the time. You see, when we say a leader is somebody who leads some people to a place where these people doesn't want to go, that is the best leader. It is sometimes, like according to what we are hearing right now, the woman is expecting the man to put his finger or his feet on the ground and say, this is what we are moving, follow me. Not, he doesn't mean beating her always. That is not what maybe the woman really means. Then everything will come.
Maybe
to
you are a man, you have to use your brain.
The communication. You see, sometimes your wife is buying a lot of things. Whatever you tell, what be carbon to baby, I know I could do baby. So what you say? O kachena na bofu. Etino disikari friend in some man bofu. Na asudie ni mra sana oba na hwe after later no be class go say no you know me kroni and he is a man. Maybe that's what the woman is expecting from him.
Wow, I think we are running out of time.
And I that
okay, if you also if for a man quite in bomb man also or the things also about the bia but almost with him
Obama Jobabu de Behu.
Oh my Baba Crew me who had be or sure couldn't be almost what Timos had to be on a baboon. Those were the whole holding check. And then I was also
sometimes
so if you are a woman that beats your husband, it's a no thing.
I want to make this clarification. Just one thing.
Okay.
About I think there was an issue we just talked about.
Okay.
That maybe marriage, for example, Pastor was asking, do you think this marriage is from God?
It's from God, yeah.
Once you get married, some people let's say they didn't even bring to church or maybe they use some, they consulted the traditional way. All these marriages are accepted by God, even if it's done at home. And sometimes these people eventually will come to the knowledge of Christ, and then that doesn't mean you should stop. They continue with the marriage. So that means God is still in that marriage, and the family is aware this person is married to this person. And what I just wanted to add is that sometimes it doesn't even, those listening to us, the fact that you did not send your wife to the church to marry her doesn't mean that it's not known by God. God is still in that marriage. And there are some people, they even go to church, they wed, they do a whole lot of things, but their marriages are even worse. Even worse than
I have witnessed a marriage that they divorce after 2 weeks after the marriage.
Yeah, okay.
The wedding,
2 weeks.
Big wedding, 2 weeks.
Yes.
Exactly 2 weeks they divorce.
Wow. So we are not saying that once you didn't go to church to get married, maybe yours is not from God. That's not what we are saying.
That's not what we mean.
Yeah, that's what we mean. Some people, they get married, they are still, they are in marriage, and they did it at church, and yet they do a whole lot of things. Even theirs might be worse.
Yeah.
So the point of view is like we have to come to the understanding of each other, and we have to put some principles to guide us. We get some principles that will guide us in the marriage. And I think that will help. And like what our brother just said, if your wife wants you to beat her, then you need to get Azuma
blows to her. Yeah. Okay, so we will take one last message and then we close for today. Yes, Mr. Emmanuel Kumi said, what do you do if you are dating someone and you find out the person has serious anger issue, yet you're really in love with the person and want to marry the person? Do you need to end the courtship or go ahead and keep hope high that the person will be better person after marriage? It's a question.
It's a question.
I think maybe in this case, look at it in two ways.
Yes.
Is it something that you can change? If something that you can change, gather the courage and change it. You have to gather the courage and change such a thing.
Okay.
Do you know the same people are not brought together?
This is Jafric Radio.
We have a football team, 11 people. Not all the 11 people are defenders. Not all everybody has its position they play. Yeah. So you have a position that you need to play in the life of such a person. She also has a position she needs to play. So like in this case, maybe you are the one that is not quick-tempered, but she is. What can you do to solve that problem? So I think before they get married, he should look, is he able to change it? If he can change it, he should change it. If it is something that is unchangeable, then I don't advise him to do that. He needs to work at it first before they join together. He should gather the courage to help her come out of it. It is a weakness that can be changed.
If it can't change,
to go ahead?
If it can't be changed, it is not advisable.
Yeah.
There is an adage which says, "Edia ebewu wenino, ichaso." Ichaso. So ubetimi akupu dia, and well is okay. They said you tibiano, me fanasa. But I guess there is nothing ubetimi ayemo dia. And he should advise himself. My uncle Remo and Sana and Yama Ase. Because I know some people when they become angry, they will just throw down the television and everything. Yes, the women scatter everything. Yeah. If you can cope with such a woman, then it's okay. If not, you better advise yourself before things become too late. That is my advice.
I would also say that maybe before getting married, I think it's important to be prayerful. If you're a Christian, or if you belong to any religious group, those people also pray. So it's important to pray over the marriage. For example, like in my case, I did pray a lot about it, and I had a lot of confirmation. Before you go into it, you need to get confirmation. God sanctioning the marriage for you.
Yes.
And so you get to know this is really my wife. And you are kind of convinced that this is going to be my husband, this is my wife. If you don't do that, then because now it's going to be very hard for us to determine or tell the destiny of the person you want to marry. Maybe I would say, he gets angry, so there's no need of you getting yourself attached to the man or to the woman. And maybe the person might happen to be the best person for you.
Yeah.
Some people, they don't even know Christ. They eventually, after getting married, they come to know Christ.
Yeah.
And so what I would say is, first of all, it's important to you all have faults. There's nobody on earth that doesn't have a fault. Maybe
this is Jafric Radio.
The fault of that person is anger. And so even if you want to control it, he's not able. I mean, you're not able to control that anger for him or her. But that doesn't mean that because he usually gets angry, it's over. We said initially that anger does not mean it's not a sin, depending on what the person is going to do when he gets angry.
Okay.
Some people just get angry, like we said, it's even beneficial to the family.
That's right.
You know, we come into intimacy relationship because of the anger. But you know, if he just get angry, then that's not a problem. But what he does after
the
is
anger
a problem. And we here cannot tell what the person is going to be in the future.
That's right.
And so even if you have found out,
so much convinced.
Yes, convinced. You love the person.
Yeah.
Then it's for you to decide.
Yeah, to decide.
And then also pray over it.
That's right.
Pray over it a lot.
Pray over it.
Yeah.
I think we have just 1 minute to go. Our time is up. So I will give Pastor Edu Jemfi 10 seconds. 10 seconds to to finalize what you want to say.
So then, resolving anger, be willing to humble yourself.
Okay.
And not always have it on your own way.
Okay.
Be willing to forgive.
Okay.
And let it go. Because love does not keep record of injury.
Okay.
Finished.
Okay. Okay, so as for me, mine is to the husbands, okay?
Why not the wives?
Yes, maybe today I will talk to the husbands.
Okay.
Then maybe next time I will talk
right.
to the wives. So husbands, instead of getting angry with us, it is your job to protect us.
Okay.
It is your job to cherish us. It is your job to adore us. Everything you call us, we give it back.
Okay.
Adam called the wife Eve, and he got what he wanted.
That's right.
So everything you call us, we give it to you. Encourage us. When you encourage us, we give it back. When you love us, we give it back. So just protect us, cherish us, and adore us.
You get angry with us.
Yes, the opposite. Yes, instead of calling us bad names, call us good names. And women, we are so loaded. If you shower on us good things, we'll give it back to you in multiple forms. So husband, please.
Okay. Abajamai, marriage counselor, your final words.
All right, so I'm very, very glad to be here to join the group here. You know, it was a great privilege being here, and I've really enjoyed the program. And I wish perhaps I'll be able to come again.
Of
course, the door is open.
You are here always with us.
There are very nice people here. I really enjoyed the place. And well, what I want to say is, I would say I came here just to tell the people out there that we should love our wives. And love our husbands.
That's right.
Because it's a union that God has actually created. And we shouldn't do anything to separate it. We should always do our best to get involved in the marriage at all times. We should love each other, respect each other. Don't do anything that would actually affect your spouse. I mean, the other spouse. Because by doing so, it comes back to you. There's a saying that when you throw a ball on the wall, it's going to come back to you. So if you know your wife is worried about something, as a man, do well to console her, do well to, love her, and don't let her suffer a lot because of you. And the same thing applies to the woman. Be in charge and help promote the family that God has instituted. God bless you.
Amen. We bring today's discussion to an end. And next program is coming on the Hour of Divine Inspiration by Pastor Emmanuel Edu Jemfi. So please don't go away. It will come on around 6:30 Japan time, 6:30 p.m. So just you can take a little rest, and then after 30 minutes you join the program. So we thank you so much for having time with us, and I know you have learned a lot. All that we want you to know is that we want you to enjoy your marriage in the fullness.
This is Jafric Radio.
So, anytime Home Sweet Home come on air, please try to join and share with your friends so that they will also they will be benefit from the discussion that we are having. All right, so we want to thank you all for your time, for your patience, and for your contribution and messages. Now, we want to remind you that from next week, Jafric Radio will be aired on 1.5 hours. It means that when we start from 4 p.m., we will end at 5:30 p.m. Home Sweet Home program. Yes, upon your request that you wrote during our survey, he said the time is too long, so we have shortened it to 1 hour 30 minutes. Okay, so try and join us, and you will never regret you did. Don't forget that Bayside Modeling Agency and Turmeric Hotel is sponsoring this program.
This is Jafric
And
Radio.
We thank Pastor Emmanuel Edujemfi, Mama Naomi Asarizotto, and Elder Counselor Akrisi Ajemai. Thank you so much for coming on our show. And we want to thank the DJ Clumsy for his good work. And also our producer, Mr. Kobe, and the executive producer, Nana Yao Enin. You can call him Mr. P.O.P. Pop San. And my name is Abena Pomapuku Fuku, a woman with a long name. Okay, so see you until we meet again next week. We say Sayo.
See you.
See you. Very nice.
Shiny one thing, Makuma. Made him Makuma crew at Chewa. Ubiti me a Shenama. I didn't mean pay your doctor's for. Hey, yeah. Would he pay a would desert? Yeah. Would you baby want me? Now would he be up if I went the moon? Would he be baby what's up for? Hey, I done what you should me. All those side you me punch you. It's real for me, see, hey, now marry your son, I'm in my dream in the end. I'll tell you, baby, maybe take bring your motor.
This is Jafric Radio.
Asumsonti na yeku. Chamani chia pauso. Neke. Ujina soja dia no pacha.